SportsCenter right now. I'm Antonieta Collins. Good news for Golden State fans. Steph Curry is almost back. The two-time MVP continuing to work into game shape on Thursday. He participated in his first full practice since spraining his left knee on March 23rd. The injury has forced him to miss the team's past 14 games. Head coach Steve Kerr, who is calling Curry questionable for Saturday, spoke yesterday about Curry's road to recovery.
I think what we have to do is see how his body responds the rest of the day, put him through another practice tomorrow. I think he needs to string together a few good days, but yeah, it was very positive.
A reminder, tonight we have all the Game 6 for you at 7 Eastern, Raptors Wizards on ESPN News, Cavs Pacers at 8 on ESPN, and Thunder and Jazz at 10:30 Eastern. As always, all games available on the ESPN app. The first round is presented by Mountain Dew Kickstart. Now let's get you back to First Take.
So much TV to watch. Steph Curry with the shot is back at practice ahead of the Pelicans and Warriors conference semifinals tomorrow at Oracle. Stephen A. Max. How much do the Warriors need Curry in this series?
If they want to advance, they need Curry. They don't beat the Pelicans without Steph Curry. I don't think people realize how good the Pelicans are right now. Rajon Rondo, playoff Rondo, is a real thing, as everyone says. It is true. Going back to last year, those first two games, they may have wound up with a sweep in the first round if Rondo stayed healthy, and that was on the road. And then look what he's done so far this year. Takes Drew Holiday off the ball a lot of the time, allowing Holiday to be decisive as a scorer. Holiday's been an excellent defender, a great defender, maybe the best in the league. Like that is actually sort of an elite backcourt. You just don't think of them that way because Holiday's considered a good but not great player, and Rondo's best years are considered behind him. But if you have the accurate idea of where Rondo and Holiday are right now, you'll think of the whole team much differently. That's to say nothing of MVP caliber 5-star Anthony Davis. I mean, Anthony Davis in these playoffs, how many players have been better? Has anyone been better? Is it possible to be better than he is right now, or maybe just as good? LeBron James or whomever else. Davis is playing at an incredibly high level. And Mirotic, by the way, is maybe the reason it's all able to happen. He's an underrated defender, but more than that, in certain respects, serves a similar function or is analogous on that team to what Draymond is on the Warriors, guys. You know, he allows them to play 5 out. He makes it much more difficult for the defense. You can't help because Mirotic is open on the perimeter. He's been a revelation. This Pelicans team, if we're talking about the Warriors without Steph, it's a big problem. And in fact, I believe they beat the Warriors if the Warriors don't have Steph.
I do not. I do not believe that. It wouldn't surprise me if it happened, but I'm going with the Warriors. That was my pick because my initial position is that the Warriors were not losing to anybody but the Houston Rockets, even without Steph Curry, and I'm going to stand by that. Why? Because Max Kellerman, personally, I'm shocked you haven't picked up on this. I love the idea of Kevin Durant going up against Anthony Davis. I love the idea of Kevin Durant having to go up against a formidable foe without the services of Steph Curry. Because what you got your finals. You got your finals MVP. You're a top 3 player in the world, universally recognized as being as such. And according to you, tacitly or otherwise, directly or indirectly, subliminally or whatever the case may be, you gave the impression that, guess what? The only reason you didn't have a championship is because you were playing with Russell Westbrook. Well, what if you're not playing with Steph Curry, but you're playing in the system that you want with players like Draymond Green and Klay Thompson, who you clearly want to play with? What's going to be your excuse then? I say none. None whatsoever. If you're that dude, this should not be a problem, particularly when you have a Klay Thompson available to you, because Klay Thompson is one of the best shooters in the world who also plays on both ends of the floor. And oh, by the way, you are supposed to be that superstar, and you got Steve Kerr and Mike Brown and their staff and that system of play where an unselfish brand of basketball is being put on display most nights. What's the excuse? There is none. That's why I like this, and that's why I want to see it.
Well, as much as the league is about, and sports is about matchups, right? Like, for example, you and I both don't think that Holiday matches up with Klay Thompson, for example, as well as he did with Damian Lillard on defense because he's smaller than Klay and all those things. But it's also about system. And you have one system that's point guard, reliant in the Warriors. You need a guy who can get dribble penetration, and that same guy has to be able to shoot from the outside. Steph is the only guard that fits that description on that team. That's not really Klay. And so Draymond, in terms of the pick and roll action with Draymond, that is diminished. Everything the Warriors do is diminished without Steph. On the flip side, you look at the Pelicans, they got 2 point guards. 2. Now, one of them is basically a combo guard at this point in Drew Holiday, who's excellent on both ends. Like, everyone, you can talk about the 41 he just gave him in the first half. 41. But the incredible thing, he was doing that while shutting down one of the premier offensive players in the world who had something to prove and is known as a clutch player. Like, Drew Holiday shuts down Damian Lillard and still gives you 41 on the other end. 2 guys who are capable of making elite decisions with the ball, and Rondo freeing up Holiday versus no guys who are doing that right now because of the absence of Steph on the Warriors. The Warriors system, the machine, is not working without its most vital cog.
Stephen A., if Anthony Davis beats this Warriors team, would he officially now be the best player in the NBA? Like, how much would this guy's stock rise?
No, he would not officially be the best in the NBA because LeBron is still here. But would he be number 2? He'd certainly supplant Kevin Durant.
No question.
Say that much.
You guys have a gut feeling on when we'll see Steph?
That is a great matchup.
Yeah, no question. Max.
It's a great
Look, they don't do the exact same thing. They don't play the exact.
That's right.
They don't do the exact same thing. They don't play the exact same position, but they're about the same height.
Yeah.
And they're about the same quality of player in terms of their ranking of basketball players in the world.
They'll be going up
and
against each other, Matt.
More or less the same
the whole
talent
point.
on their team. What's that?
At some point in time, whereas you would see a player going up against a player on another team, you wouldn't really see the matchup. Like, LeBron might have been defending Steph Curry for a few plays, but Steph Curry ain't guarding LeBron. What I love about this is that at some point in time, it's like a confrontation. It's almost like, let me give y'all a fun analogy.
Okay.
Watch the movie Heat. Watch the movie Heat with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro.
Classic.
Where you had all of these scenes. Crime, it's a classic, right?
Yes.
But that scene with them at the cafeteria, that's what you waited for.
Mano
them
y
across
mano.
from one another. We'll
know
be
why?
waiting for Durant
You know why, guys?
and
Wait,
Anthony
Stephen A., you know
Davis
why?
up against each other.
The reason is, and it's a very good analogy, De Niro and Pacino were these 2 big, huge movie stars and great actors. They'd never been in a scene together. They were in The Godfather Part 2 together, but never in the same scene. So that was the first time you saw them matched up, so to speak. And on this level, in the playoffs, with more or less evenly matched teams, to Stephen A's point, this will be the first time AD and KD are matched up. And what's on the line, in fact, is who is in fact the heir apparent to LeBron James. That's why this is interesting. More interesting than KD and LeBron last year.
Leave it to you. Leave it to you to just ruin the closing argument, Mr. Max Ebert, your movie critic now. I mean, come on. You understand what I'm saying?
I actually think it's interesting. That was the only time
Flow
they
with
were in
it.
a movie
Flow
together.
with it.
Flow
with it.
Wait, Stephen A., I got one more
That
question, though.
That's called flowing. That's called flowing.
Real quick, guys.
Yes, sir.
I got one more thing. I don't know why my gut is that Steph's going to be playing Saturday. Are you hearing that, Stephen A.? Or?
Listen, no, I'm not hearing that.
All
Do
right.
I believe it's possible? Yes, but I think it's more likely that he'll play in Game 2. I just want to see Kevin Durant on the floor against Anthony Davis without help from Steph Curry, and I want to see what happens. I still believe in Kevin Durant, but I want to see it.
Yeah.
What that means, the shadow of Steph Curry means that the early games are incredibly important for the Pelicans. For the Pelicans, they got to win these early games.
All right, gentlemen, we'll leave it there. Up next, the guys will tell us who made the biggest splash in the draft last night and which players will be the biggest busts. Could Stephen A. be picking this guy?
I've been wanting to play here since day one, Dallas. I love you guys. This place is awesome. We got Super Bowls to win, baby.